just late in the atmosphere, a casual affair.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another NASCAR Heat 3 video, and today we have another live stream by 704 Games. So it's been about a week since we had the last live stream, and it was pretty damn cool. We learned a lot of stuff, seen a lot of cool stuff, so I actually haven't seen it. So for those of you that haven't seen it as well, I'm right there with you. This is the first time I've seen it before, so it's going to be cool for them to dive into this a little bit further, hopefully see a little bit more than what we've seen last time, hopefully see some more career mode stuff, and I'm excited to see what they got in store for us. So before we go any further, I just want to make sure to thank you guys so much for the amazing support that you give me on my channel thus far. All the NASCAR Heat 3 stuff and all the other stuff I've done as well as far as gameplay things on other video games has been amazing. So I want to thank you guys so much for all that support. You guys have been subscribing like crazy, you guys have been commenting like crazy, letting me know all the feedback that you want from these videos, so I really do appreciate it. I'll be having a full career mode series that I'm going to be doing on my YouTube channel as well, and I'll be doing a ton of NASCAR Heat live streams as well. I'll be doing a bunch of league stuff, and I'll be doing a bunch of just live stream stuff as far as online mode goes as well, so be sure to check that out. So with us just being 1 week away, guys, there's going to be hopefully a little bit more news that's going to be coming out from 704. I wouldn't expect too much. They're probably just going to, you know, keep building the hype train a little bit. As far as new features, I'm sure we've pretty much seen everything there is to see as far as new features go, unless they have a couple more things hidden in the bag, but I really don't think they do. So that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this video.
By the window, that is where I'll be.
So excuse me again for my big ass body blocking everything they're doing right now. They're same thing, just sitting in a room. They're kind of talking back and forth, looking at the chat and stuff like that, but right now there's actually no sound. They're kind of sitting there talking, and it's been about close to 5 minutes now. So for the first race that we got here, we have the guest Spencer Boyd. He's actually an Xfinity Series driver. He mentions that he's never been in a Darlington race before, so curious to see how he kind of does on the track here. They're kind of just talking about the game, the different improvements they got. We see here in the practice mode, we have the practice line that shows you how fast you're going. It'll turn red if you need to slow down and whatnot. So this is all features that we've seen before. It's just kind of cool seeing them bring in more drivers in and actually trying out the game. So be curious to see what he does here. So we have a 4-lap Darlington race here. We see that he's playing in a third-person mode. He's driving up through there pretty decent. He's taking out a lot of cars. Again, he says he's never played a Darlington race before, and he's really using these guys up so far. But this is really nothing new than what we've seen before already. We're kind of just looking at the different physics that we have. Here, third person mode's a little bit better. I really doubt that the AI difficulty is very high with him racing right now, but so far, they seem to be doing okay. I don't see much difference from NASCAR Heat 2 right now as far as they go. They seem to pretty much be acting the same as far as whenever you hit them. Maybe just a little bit different. But he's really using them up getting through these corners for sure, and he's using up the wall for sure. So just kind of watching him race, it is looking like the console or maybe a PC that is playing is really holding up to the FPS a little bit better. It seems to be holding pretty steadily. It doesn't seem to be dropping as much. I know the stream that they have is kind of lagging just a tad, but overall, as far as the frames per second that we're seeing here, it seems to be holding a lot more steady than it has in the past. Again, I know their lag's kind of, you know, freaking out, but just kind of looking at the infield, looking at the fence post there, they seem to be holding up a lot better. We're not seeing so much stuttering like we have in the past with Heat Evolution or Heat 2. So that is a good sign. He's already made his way up to 10th, and he's coming out the final corner here to finish up this race. So I'm sure the difficulty on this is really low. I believe I've seen them set it to like 98%. So we really didn't see anything new in that last race. We just kind of seen more gameplay. We haven't seen them run a Darlington race yet, so that was pretty cool seeing. It looks like we're gonna see the Roval here. Holy hell, that's kind of different. I've yet to play the Roval at all or see anything about the Roval. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do here and see how he races it. I doubt he's even raced on it before. Okay, so we're going green here. I'm really curious to see what he's gonna do. It's gonna be, I'm sure, a bloodbath here, but we'll see how he does. I'm curious to see how this goes on this new road course. I'm really excited to see this this year. It's gonna be really neat, really cool with what they did with the track. I'm excited to see the change. We had 3 races at Charlotte or Lowe's, whatever you want to call it, here, if you include the All-Star race. So it's cool that they mixed it up a little bit and throw this road course in. So I'm really excited to see that. He's already made his way up to 18th place from 40th. Which isn't too hard to do at road courses since there's so many different braking points. But he is really pushing these guys out of the way. And they don't really seem to be affected by him bumping them too much. I mean, of course, they're getting sideways a little bit, but not as much as you would expect them to be. I'm curious if he's on simulation mode or what mode he's on right now, because he seems to just be catching it as he gets loose very quickly. And you see the way he's jerking in the corners, and that just makes me want to cringe. So I have heard, as we see him go for the lead here, I have heard that they've made the AI difficulty a lot harder. I've been seeing a lot of different tweets and stuff saying that the AI difficulty has been updated a lot, and I believe Joseph Lombardo, is that his name? Anyway, they flew him out there to test the game as well. I believe he may be in this live stream as well, but he put out a tweet saying the AI difficulty is a lot harder. If you put it at 105, you're really going to be challenged. So you can fully expect me to put it at 105, oh god, at 105 on my career mode for sure, because I want a challenge. I'm tired of this. You get a hot seat, you win that race, you move up. That's just BS to me. If you get a hot seat and you get up into a, the next series, you're not going to win the race right out of the gate in a shitty car. That's just not going to happen. So whatever brings more realism to this game, for me at least, I'm going to take. The more difficulty that we're able to get up there, I'm going to take it, because I want a real challenge. So maybe he'll do Burnout. We'll see, which has been confirmed. It's only on offline mode. There is no Burnouts on online mode, which, whatever, no biggie. And he completely skipped the Burnout. So for the next race, they're going to Talladega. Be curious to see how this all works. I'm curious to see what a pack's going to look like. If they're going to be running different lines, if they're all going to be hugging the double yellow line, how it's going to work bump drafting. They made a lot of improvements in NASCAR Heat 2 with the bump drafting, which they actually added bump drafting that time around. If you remember Heat Evolution, as soon as you got on the back bumper of a guy, it seemed like he slowed down almost. He wouldn't go anywhere. Even in online mode 2, it was very hard to get any lines rolling because bump drafting just wasn't really a thing. But they seem to fix it in NASCAR Heat 2, which is a 2 thumbs up for that, for sure. So surely he's not going to make a practice run at Talladega. Looks like he's actually just going to go ahead and start the race. Now, I do wish they started these live streams back like a month or two ago. That would have been awesome, because the way they fed us the information for this game, I really was not a big fan of. We had to wait until July for the Daytona race, and then the game's being released a month after, and we heard virtually nothing about the game other than that it was being produced beforehand. We heard some leaks from different producers and developers on Twitter, but besides that, man, that was really it, which kind of sucked. I would have loved to see even some pre-build stuff, or alpha builds, things like that would have been awesome to see, but we just didn't get that, which it's all in the past now. Maybe they can do something different next year, because I'm sure most of the fans did not agree with it. So we see going into 3, we see all the American flag kind of flying around. So that's a cool attention to detail there. The pack seems to be moving around a little bit. I don't know if we're going to see any bump drafting here, because he just seems to be so much faster than all these cars. One thing that I did notice coming to the green, I don't remember the front stretch being that banked. Maybe my eyes are just playing tricks on me, but the front stretch at Talladega does seem to be a little bit more banked this time around for whatever reason. Maybe I'm just tripping, but maybe I'm just tripping. Sometimes I really wish during these live streams they would give these guys a wheel really bad, especially at a track like Talladega. We're seeing a lot of this in the corner, which really tears me apart deep down inside. But that's what we got. I'm sure he's not really used to playing a lot of video games. He actually does the driving, so I'm not going to give him a whole ton of crap, but it would be cool to see them give these guys that come into this room for live streams an actual wheel. Would be cool. So again, I'm curious what kind of setting he's on, if he's on simulation or what the difficulty is, but he just seems to be in them the whole time, and the AI is just not budging at all, really. So I'm hoping that he's on a lower difficulty setting, or he's on like that arcade mode or whatever they call it, because I don't know. I just don't want it to be another pinball game where if they put you in the wall, you're just bouncing back and forth between them and the wall because they don't give it all. That gets old really quick. Good God. He's really whipping that thing. They seem to be going really slow in the corners, man. It feels me, I'd really be whipping that thing. You in the high groove. Again, just seems to be all over the place here. These guys just seem like concrete walls, the AI right now. Good God. It is nice to see the dirt kind of flying around as we see him get on the apron here. I mean, if I was him, I'd really be getting up high and try to keep that momentum going around the top side, but God, this thing just keeps seeming to pop left on him a lot. I'm not sure if that's just him driving it, or good God, or what that is. I'm not going to make too many judgment calls on, that race. I'm not going to make any decisions on how the handling is of the dirt series until I actually play it myself, because after watching that, I'm not I'm nervous about it. I'm really nervous about it. The AI just kind of seemed to be riding on a rail the whole time. They didn't really seem to be sliding around. I know this track's a little bit more banked than the other dirt tracks, so we can probably expect them to not be kind of sliding around. It just seemed like they're riding on a concrete track, except for him. He was pointed towards the infield all the time. So I'm curious to see how that actually drives. If it does have a dirt feel, I mean, I would be up there against the wall riding that sucker, just keeping that momentum, because all the AI just seems to hug the bottom of that line there. And you know, I don't know. I'm gonna wait till I play it before I make any final thoughts on that for sure. So next up is gonna be Joseph Lombard, I think his name is. He's another YouTuber. He goes by the name Nascar, but it's like N4 5 6. But he's, you know, one of the live stream guys as well. So he's sitting with these guys, kind of showing off some more gameplay. I watch his videos. He's actually a pretty good racer, so I'm not gonna bash him too much if he shifts the gear into fourth. But curious to see how he does here. I believe they're at Road America. They talked for about 10 minutes about the sponsorship that he has for Ryan Siege, which is actually on the card. You see Lombard Bros Gaming on the back there. So they kind of talked about his sponsorship with that car for a little bit, which is pretty cool that he did that. And pretty cool to see that in the game as well as he goes through the grass here. Oh my god. So this Road America track is just one lap that they're doing. A very, very short race. Curious to see what kind of progress you can make if you can actually get a win and sneak up a win. There's plenty of passing zones here at Road America. I'm not sure what difficulty he has on. I'm sure it's probably the same as the last guy. I hope to God this is a 105 because this is already way too damn easy. So one thing that I am really love seeing from 704, they did this last year as well, is they're actually bringing in different guys that live stream their NASCAR games regularly, or the guys that are on YouTube putting out career vids regularly. So it's really cool seeing that. They're getting people that are actually hands-on, play the games all the time, know what they want, know what improvements they want. It can actually play the damn game. Because I know in Heat Evolution, I believe it was absolutely terrible, man. They brought this random guy in. I don't even know who he was. He was staying in like third gear around Daytona. He could barely drive the damn thing. He was going like 150 around the track. It was absolutely terrible. So I think after they did that, they realized we need to get someone that actually knows how the hell to race this game, because that was one of the most embarrassing live streams ever seen in my life. So I'm really glad they got people like Joseph here, and Real Rabbit was on it last year as well. I hope they continue doing that, because it is something that we really want and need to see. So he had a decent race at Road America, and he's headed to Texas now, so we're going to see how he does here. Again, nothing really new than what we've already seen in the past. We're kind of just seeing new tracks that they haven't really live streamed before. Everything, it just kind of looks a little bit refreshed from NASCAR Heat 2. Nothing crazy new. The game looks like it's running a little bit smoother. Again, they might be playing on a PC with just a controller wired up to it. But they may be playing on console as well, so everything seems to be refreshed just a little bit better. The frame rate seems to be better, holding better. At least there doesn't seem to be any major drops or dips in that. The cars, just the graphics overall seem to be just a tad bit better. It's nothing drastic that's going to blow your complete mind whenever you go to pop in the game and play it for the first time. It seems to be a little bit better though, so I'm curious to see how these AI kind of run around you, if they're going to be giving you room, or they're still going to act like you're not even there at all and they're just going to start bouncing off you. And you would get on the high side of a AI and they would bump you into the wall, and then it'd just be ping pong back and forth. And that was one of the worst feelings ever, and you can really do nothing about it until you eventually wrecked. So we did just see him get on the apron a second ago, and he didn't spin out, which is great. Before in the past we see guys get on the apron, or myself included, I get onto the apron and it would just whip you around really quick, which is really, really shitty. You can get on the apron a tad, it's not going to whip you around, it's going to cause your handling to go out the gate pretty quickly. But the little bit that I did see him get onto the apron, it looks like there may be hope for that. So we see him really utilizing the 360 cam. He's looking back a lot, which is something, as we see right there, something that I'm going to be doing a lot. I really don't do it in the corners because I really feel that messes up how I'm going around the corners a little bit. You kind of lose your focus in the corners and let people get underneath you, or you know, just kind of miss your line a little bit. But I'm really glad to see that 360 cam. I know a lot of people are complaining about not having a track map, which, you know, me too. I really wanted a track map in this year's game. It's not going to make or break the game. It would have just been something nice to have. A lot of people say, what's the point of having a track map, man? You know what the track is, blah, blah, blah. It's really just to see where everybody else is out on the track, especially if you're leading, you know, spanking some ass. You want to see how close you have to lap cars. It can really affect your strategy of the game. Having that track map, seeing where everybody is out on the track, really affects how you do some strategy stuff. So we see he finished 26th. He did have the difficulty up a little bit there, so I am glad to see the AI is a little bit harder. For sure. So Mr. Joseph is actually talking a lot of shit to the chat. He's saying that he could take anybody any time of the day in the chat. He could beat them all on multiplayer. So I'm just going to say I'll take you up on that challenge, buddy. I'll take you up on that. So actually we're looking at 3 laps, and again we're not really seeing anything new so far. We're seeing a couple different tracks that we haven't seen before yet on the different previews and live streams of NASCAR Heat 3, but you know, they're basically the same as NASCAR Heat 2 was, but this is a new track. We have seen this before though, but it's always cool to see a brand new fantasy track that we haven't seen in the game yet. So it is looking really good. I'm really excited about running this track. It looks a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And some of the screenshots, the early screenshots that we've seen, I didn't think it was going to be that fun, but after seeing all these guys play it and all the elevation changes and things like that, and then going to asphalt and then going back to dirt, seeing that is really, really neat. I'm glad to see they incorporate that in the game. It looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. I think it's going to be a ton of fun in league races as well. I cannot wait to get on this track and tear this sucker up. And I really think he has the difficulty turned up because, you know, he would be up there pretty far ahead right now if it was turned all the way down like it was before. So he's going to eat that wall pretty hard, but he's able to bounce off it and continue pretty good. I'm not sure if he has damage on or not. I'm sure we'd be able to see some if he did. But it is nice to see these cars really kicking sideways more than we did see at Eldora last year. They really just stuck on a rail. Wow, what the hell did he just hit? So he may have just found a little glitch in the game. It looks like he just, I don't even know what he hit. I didn't see a fence post or anything there. But he kind of just bounced off the ground. There's a rock in the ground or something. I'm not sure what happened, but he just took a hell of a spin randomly. So we see he's on the last lap now. He's still kind of mired back here in 18th position. He hit that little stone part. I think it was maybe right there, but it was kind of weird the way he hit it, man. It just kind of shut him out. He is taking out every damn person he gets around to try and get up to the front. He's up in 17th now. It looks like these cars are really on edge. If you barely tap them, they kind of, you know, get a little bit crazy. Other than, besides the asphalt cars, all the Xfinity trucks and Cup cars, they all pretty much stay glued to the track. But if you seem to bump these cars a little bit, they seem to get a little bit more squirrely. At least the AI do. So he's here in 16th now. I don't know if he's going to make it much farther up than that. But it is nice to see him run this road course. He's running it pretty similar to the way I would run it. You know, seeing somebody that's actually has a lot of hands-on experience running NASCAR games, this track looks like a lot of fun. Really high-speed track for dirt cars. Pretty decent corner there. He's going to make it up to 15th. A lot of speed they're running through here. It's going to be a blast, I think, running with leagues at this track. You're really going to have to be on top of your game running this. So yeah, really cool to see. So we skip ahead. He's running now, I keep calling it Infineon, but he's running here at Sonoma. I was actually at the Sonoma track probably 3-4 weeks ago. I kind of went up there. They were having a Mustang GT event, so I went there a little bit after that and checked everything out, took a few pictures. I was actually right down here. You could see down there to the left where that building's at. I was actually right there. That's where you drive in and you kind of park right there. So that's where I was at. I got to check out all the garages right here on the left, and got to check out the victory lane, which is actually right there to the left as well. So it's actually really cool going in there in person and checking out all that. But again, looks pretty much the same as NASCAR Heat 2. Maybe just looks a tad bit different the way the sun reflects off everything, the track and whatnot. He's up here in the 21st. He's got to have the difficulty turned up for sure. But yeah, the game looks pretty damn good. The draw distance looks a little bit better. Everything's a little bit clearer as you look off into the distance. For sure. It looks like they added some more textures and details to the mountains. So this has honestly been, you know, probably one of my favorite road courses to run. Although I am a huge Watkins Glen fan. I never really cared for Road America. I think I will like the new one though, the new dirt track that they do have. But big fan of this track. Does seem like please shift. It does seem like these AI are putting in quite a bit of a fight. So I'm really glad to see that. I'm curious how it's going to roll into career mode with you having to upgrade everything. I want that thing to be a challenge. I want them to just drag my face through the dirt the entire career mode, and I just want that thing to be difficult. I tell you, I'm having like I'm getting motion sick by how much he's looking back. It's driving me freaking insane every 2 seconds going down these straightaways, man. He's looking at the roof of the car every 2 seconds. It's driving me insane. I will definitely use that feature, but holy hell. So next up, they're going to be answering some Q&As from the fans from the Twitch feed. So we're going to go ahead and cut over to them. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my big ugly mug and kind of hear what they have for Q&As.
We actually don't have any plans to release NASCAR Heat 3 on the Nintendo Switch, but it is definitely a platform we're watching. And, you know, I wouldn't rule out a game in the future, but not NASCAR Heat 3. If you buy the game digital, do you still get the ticket discount? So that's up in the air right now. We're actually still working with Sony and Microsoft on this. by the day. So stay tuned for more information. If you for sure want the ticket voucher, I would buy the physical copy of NASCAR Heat 3. But we'll definitely keep everyone posted on the digital version as well. But it's definitely not 100%. Who is the spotter in NASCAR Heat 3? It's Joey Meyer, right? Yes. Spectator mode in the online lobbies. So now whenever you join an online lobby, you'll be able to spectate a race instead of just sitting on that front lobby page and staring at a timer, which is quite boring, to be honest. But now you can jump into the race and actually watch the people who are racing.
Yep.
Stay low, still there. Car outside, hold your line here. Hold the wheel. Clear.
Uh-oh.
Oh, is that what it was? That was
Questionable driving. Oh my goodness, folks! We got a nice wreck here.
So questions about pre-ordering NASCAR Heat 3 on the PlayStation Store.
Yes.
It's not going to happen this year, unfortunately. We've been working with Sony for a while on it, but it just couldn't happen this year. It'll be available midnight in your time zone on September 7th on the PlayStation Store. Questions about 4K. So if you have a PC, you can run NASCAR Heat 3 at 60 frames per second and in 4K. Consoles will be 30 frames per second.
Stay low. Careful now. Still there. Still there.
Right now, burnouts will not be online. They are only offline.
Can we get the official soundtrack from NASCAR Heat 3 posted on YouTube? I believe there's already a Spotify playlist created, but I'm sure we'll at some point post that on our social platforms again as well. So.
Inside your driver. Hold this line here. All clear. All clear.
Questions about Xbox One X and PlayStation 4 Pro. So NASCAR Heat 3 won't have any special upgrades on those platforms. Our reasoning behind that is we just don't think there's enough adoption at this time, but it's like the Nintendo Switch. It's definitely two consoles that we're following, and if it's more adopted next year, you might see some upgrades on those consoles.
5 to go. You got this.
You're getting some tips, by the way, Elliot.
Yeah.
Whoever's driving, you need to exit on the bottom lane.
Well, see, that's what happens when you do that. There's a groove in both corners where if you put your tires in it, it'll set the car sideways. So it's kind of hard to get a good run off at Bristol now. It's a little different than it was in Heat 2.
Yep.
See, it's a little sideways.
New sounds. There are new sounds for every series has new sounds this year. I don't believe Homestead is a night race in this year's game.
It's one that's kind of a transition. It's day to night, so it's kind of that
Dusk,
sunset,
if you will.
It's got a really nice pink sky. Pretty. Right? Kept that in there.
That's true. How was the tire wear? That's a good question. Elliot, do you want to speak on that a little bit?
Tire wear is it's definitely there. The tires wear out. The lap times will not really fall off, but the car gets a little bit harder to drive, and when you get down to about 15-20%, I mean it's basically sideways the whole time, and it's hard to maintain. So you're definitely going to pit for tires. I saw people were talking about AI tire wear. I'm not quite sure how that's been altered. I haven't run full races yet to see if that's a big deal. But I do know that the user's tires do wear after a good bit, and they're pretty realistic to real life. So
yeah.
Do you want to go to Phoenix next?
Sure.
fuss about that. We're getting a lot of questions about online as well. We actually have another video coming out next week about online right before release. So definitely check that out. We'll pretty much unveil everything there is to know about online. So just wait a little bit longer.
Is there going to be a day-to-night transition? So you won't actually see a transition during the race, but from practice to qualifying to the actual start of the race, you will see different times of day that reflect, moving and progressing throughout the race day. But that is definitely something that we're aware of, and again, we're always trying to add and improve the game. So that's definitely on our radar. Someone asked for some of the bonus paint schemes and what the DLC is going to look like. And again, that's going to be more information on that will be released in the next day or two. So definitely stay tuned on that, and we'll be able to offer you a little bit more there.
Yeah, definitely. So the game is shipping. Pretty much every single Cup driver has multiple paint schemes. And then there's a few Xfinity drivers that have 2 schemes, and then I don't think any of the truck drivers have 2 schemes, right?
I think there's 28 drivers in Cup that have an alternate. There's one Xfinity guy, which is Brian Priest, and then Josh Ream has his 2 trucks in there.
Awesome.
Oh, man. Oh, so the All-Star race. No, guys. Unfortunately, the All-Star race is not going to be within the game. You will see some interesting stuff associated with the All-Star race, but again, the actual race itself is not the event. Will not be in the game.
Paint schemes. You'll see paint schemes associated with the All-Star
Interesting
race.
stuff.
Matt Kenseth will not be in NASCAR Heat 3.
Perfect.
Black flag to stop bummer car racers? Not quite sure what that means.
Elliot, someone asked what difficulty you're on.
I believe it's 102 or 103.
We're on 102 or 103 difficulty right now.
105 is when it gets really hard. 102, 103, you can still pretty much work your way to the lead and qualify pretty well.
You're clear.
Are driving physics better than NASCAR Heat 2?
Yeah, in multiple ways. The actual physics, as far as car contact, are greatly improved. I believe drafting has also been affected a little bit. There's a little bit better draft with the trucks and the Cup cars at plate tracks. But the car contact between cars, when you got 3 wide in the middle in Heat 2, if you just bounced off one, went down the other, and then just ricocheted all over the place, that's kind of, it's definitely not as bad. You can still bounce between cars, but 9 times out of 10, your car will just get really sideways, and you'll just be able to overcorrect and save it, and you'll never actually spin out. That's probably the major enhancement, is just car contact. You can see right there, that was a little bit of aero loose / getting to the side of the 22 there. So just minor physics tweaks at flatter tracks like Phoenix and stuff, and then Homestead is also a little bit different with aero. So small aero tweaks, much better car contact. The physics are a lot more stable in general as far as just being able to drive the car. You're not really, you can kind of hit the apron and it feels a little bit more forgiving than before. I don't feel like you spin out as easily. And then obviously there's all the setup tweaks that MGI has added. You can really dial it in and get a better feel for what you need out of your car than anything.
Definitely, absolutely. And that goes from series to series. That's not just Cup that we've worked on. We've really put a lot of time and effort into really improving this game, and I think that'll show day one.
Getting a question about if the AI will push you on plate tracks or restrictor plate tracks. And the answer is no, not right now. they're definitely fine-tuning those restrictor plate tracks all the time, so I wouldn't rule something like that out in the future, but it won't be in NASCAR Heat 3 at launch.
I think the restricted plate racing is really hard to get right because a lot of the complaints are the fact that, you know, we made it so that when you go up and you bump a driver, they'll actually go forward and take that bump as a draft, but they won't go anywhere with the run, and that's something that's really, you know, probably going to be tweaked on, but for now it's just something that's a little bit too hard to, you know, get drivers to be aggressive and go to the outside line when there's nobody there and actually take that run somewhere. So Super Speedway Racing has been minorly tweaked, but nothing major with AI drafting.
What is the main goal for you guys after this game to improve the next game? So obviously, you know, we're not even you know, at the launch of NASCAR Heat 3, so, you know, we're still 100% focused on this game right now. But, you know, it goes without saying that we are really passionate about, you know, these NASCAR games and delivering the NASCAR game that the fans deserve. You know, you guys have definitely been through a lot in terms of, you know, the changing of hands and all that. And you know, we're NASCAR fans ourselves, and we're video game fans, and we will continue to listen to the fans and drivers that come in and talk to us and help us, and influencers like Joseph who are, you know, so awesome and willing to help us. But, you know, that's kind of where we're at, is we're still focused on launching this game and improving this game further. But we're always looking to improve and expand the series. So we'll definitely reach out to you guys more after the launch of Heat 3 to continue hearing your guys' opinions and ways on improving the game.
Definitely, yeah. So yeah, just to wrap up, a few more questions. The Daytona Duels and the Clash will not be in the game this year, along with the All-Star Race. Let's see. We got questions about changing paint schemes in career mode. So your paint scheme will change according to the track it was run at originally, if that makes any sense. We can clarify that online. Our FAQ for the game is going to go live next week. Our DLC information will be live tomorrow, and then we'll go into more details about online multiplayer and the esports tournaments next week as well. So definitely stay tuned to that. We're excited for September 7th, and hopefully we can do another stream before the game's out.
So that was it for the second live stream, guys. I really appreciate you guys checking out the video and everything you guys have been checking out and showing me the support on the channel for the past couple weeks on the NASCAR Heat 3 stuff, so I really do appreciate it. The game's releasing next Friday, so we're only 8 days away, 7 days away now. Next week I'll definitely be doing a lot of live stream for the NASCAR Heat 3 stuff. We'll be doing a lot of online live streaming, and then I'll be having career videos coming out pretty much every single day after that as well, as we kind of dive into the career mode, which I'm super freaking stoked for, and everything after that, guys. So I really do appreciate it, always, and I'll see you guys next week at launch.